In addition, any non-preemptive persons that comes onto the playing surface will immediately be escorted out of this lane by security staff. Those violating this decorum policy will be warned once. Subsequent violations of this decorum policy will result in ejection from this venue. We thank you for your cooperation, your good sportsmanship, and your courtesy. Our administrator on site is Ken Monroe today. It's so nice we should probably be playing outside today, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. Welcome to Viking Basketball Central here on the campus of Pleasant Hills Diablo Valley College for the Saturday men's home opener for a non-conference encounter between visiting Redwoods Community College of Eureka and DVC. Introducing, first of all, the opening lineup for the Corsairs, as placed in the game book by head coach Ryan Vicio.
So no national anthem, so we're live here at the DVC Palladium for this home opener for the DVC Vikings. They're 0-1 after a loss over to Kenyatta. That was a tough one, a 78-49 defeat. Vikings did okay in the first half of play, 28-35 at the end of it, but in that second half, they let the game get away from them. Kenyatta, 43 points to DVC's 21. That gave us the 78-49 point total. And really, the same story stays the same for the Vikings coming into this year. They're coming in, they have a deep roster. It's just a matter of how we use it and how the Vikings are able to come together and put basically all this talent together and have it mesh. Irv Anderson is the head coach of the Vikings. He's coming to his fourth year, 32-26 overall, and he's looking to turn the page from that last bad loss and come back with a strong victory tonight. You could see a lot of the teams or a lot of the players are buying in early, right after that loss, the moment they got back from Kenyatta, which is about, I would say, an hour and a half away from here. You had players in the gym getting after it, making things happen right after the game. So this team is dedicated, and they're definitely going to make it a fight tonight. And for the Vikings, their starters are going to be Marshawn Smith, number 1, the guard/forward out of Weston Ranch. He's a freshman. Number 5 at another guard, it's Lorenzo Pardo, the 5'10", 170 sophomore out of Heritage. Another star for the Vikings, number 11, Ben Tejas, the 6'2", 185 sophomore guard out of College Park. He was the leading scorer of the Vikings, averaging 14.8 last year, and he's going to be a big factor again this season. Number 12, Vinny Hurtado is going to start at another guard. The 6'1", 185 sophomore came in relief of some guards. He started a few games, especially in conference, starting 2 of the 11 games, and we expect some great facilitating from Vinny Hurtado coming into this game. And last but not least, the center, Michael Wood, 6'6", 205, the freshman out of Las Lomas, looking to get a start. And man, this guy is athletic. He's a member of the Wood family. Adam Wood, obviously, or maybe not obvious to you guys, but my quarterback back when I played football here a long time ago. A lot of love for the Wood family, and it's good to see the lineage continuing deep here. On the other side of the ball for the College of Redwoods Corsairs, they are on their 3rd game back-to-back. They started their season in a game over at Napa Valley. They played a couple games over there, and they're finishing the 3-game stint over here at Diablo Valley College before bouncing back home. A long drive ahead of them there. In the first game, they lost to Sacramento City College, and that was a 92-72 finish. And then after that, they were able to bounce back and take out Folsom Lake College, so 2 Big 8 opponents you'll see a lot on this broadcast coming forward, and that was a final of 75-65. This team coming in was ranked 27th in all of California in the preseason polls. They're ranked number 13th in the NorCal poll, so a lot of expectations coming from this team that lost in the 3rd round of regionals against College of Sequoias last year. Their starters, Cody Whitmore, Trey Neff, Mason Railsback, Jet Chung, and Kai Purcell. As they take the middle of 4, we'll get you to the action here at Vikings Palladium. And into the middle of the floor will be Michael Wood. He'll be jumping off against what seems to be Mason Railsback. Most athletic player on the floor will be Marshawn Smith, but they'll go with height inside with Michael Wood. The officials tonight, Jordan Adams, Dan Church, Derek Inyanis. And we are seconds away from tip-off here at the DVC Palladium. Vikings got the initial tip, and it looks like somebody jumped a little too early. So I think there was just an issue with the shot clock, so we'll get it going. The Vikings did win the first tip. And now let's see what Rails back versus Wood is. And the Vikings lose the tip, but Lorenzo Pardo, just Johnny on the spot to pick it up. And Vinny Hurtado will get the set for the Vikings to get this game rolling. Benteas, top of the key, now over to Hurtado, slashing down the baseline. Hurtado with the flip, leaves it short. Rebound brought in by Cody Whitmore. Whitmore passes to Chung, and Chung's going to be the main point guard to start off this set. Rails back, top of the key. A pass over to the right side. Marshawn Smith, the steal, cuts to the back, and Marshawn Smith gets the first points for the Vikings at home. The 2 points and the shot made by Smith. A 2-0 lead for the Vikings in this early going, and they're going to spring into a full court press right away. Chung defended by Lorenzo Pardo, and the handoff over to Trey Neff. Now to Rails back. Rails back's guarded by Benteas in the man-to-man. Hurtado, a pest on defense right there against Whitmore. And now Chong has it from the right wing. 8 seconds left to shoot. No shot attempt so far. And Chong's going to drive down the basket. The Euro, the reverse. And we're knotted up at 2. A lot of energy coming out in this court, and both teams are fired up. It'll be interesting to see what the College of the Redwoods eventually have in their tank. 3rd game in 3 days. Benteas floating away from the left wing, misses that shot. Wood fighting inside, and he's still active. Wood tips it over to Lorenzo Pardo, and he lays it up for his first basket. Wood only 2 points in the last game, and he's equaled that total about 1:30 into this one. Pass over the corner. That's Purcell. Now a handoff over to Neff. Neff swings it over to Chung. Chung slashing down the right wing. A kick over to the corner. A 3-point shot from Neff. Nothing but net for Neff. Neff is somebody you cannot leave open on the wing. 45% three-point shooter from last season, averaging 20.6 points per game. And he nails the triple to get this game started. A 1-point lead for the Redwoods, 5-4. Hurtado's going to hold his finger up, call the play, and get a deep breath for the Vikings as he lines up on the D of the Vikings midcourt logo to start the set. Hurtado between the legs with the dribble with his hot pink kicks. That's one thing we've seen from Hurtado. It's continuing to this year. His kicks are pink, and he loves that shot. A miss from the right elbow. That was Marshawn Smith. And the Vikings set playing some defense now. Left wing, another 3-point shot. That one rattles out. No good for Cody Whitmore in his first attempt. Vikings get the rebound with Pardo. And now Hurtado straight to the bucket. Oh, Hurtado got a little fancy, did the Euro inside. He was looking for a drop-off pass to Marshawn Smith. And we've seen how athletic Marshawn Smith can be. We've seen windmill dunks and some scrimmages early on in the season, but just not on the same page with this point guard. So a turnover on Hurtado to start. 17-11 remaining here in the first half of play, and Chong continues to facilitate. Purcell to the left wing. He's blocked. Adam Wood met him at the summit. Pardon me, Michael Wood, not Adam. And now Pardo will drive the baseline. The 15-footer from the short left wing gives the Vikings the 6-5 lead. 5-on-5 here as 5 Chong. Man-to-man coverage across against Lorenzo Pardo. And now Chung shooting a 3. No good. Rebound made by Hurtado. Fumbles the ball into the ground. The ball's still alive, and it's picked up by Purcell. Chung has it from the right wing. A turnaround. A 3. Neff is good. Trey Neff is living up to be exactly what we expected from him. He is a beast from beyond the arc, and you cannot let him have these opportunities in the early going. 8-6 now with the 2-point lead for the Redwoods. 16-17 remaining here. Benteas trying to answer with his own 3, and Benteas starting off where he left off last year. A triple for Teas, and that's his first 3 points, a 9-8 game now. Penetration inside, and Neff just drops it off to Purcell. Purcell with a wide open bucket underneath. Purcell averaging 10 points a game last season, and Hurtado with another turnover. He had his pocket picked by Cody Whitmore, and a turnover for the Vikings will lead into another opportunity for the Redwoods. A right wing 3, Chong no good, followed up by Whitmore with the offensive rebound, and now a deep 3 as Neff leaves it short for once. Feeling like Stephen Curry from beyond the arc after he hit those first 2, and that one was an air ball. 10-9 game still as we get our first substitutions. Nearly a line shift here, so for the Vikings, it'll be Pardo alongside Moselle Wilson Cole Webster will check into the game, and Ben Tejas and Elijah Keys, who didn't get the start tonight, will get some run in the second unit. Cole Webster will run the set here for the Vikings in the second unit. A feed inside over to Keys, and Keys trying to get inside, but some physical play for the substitution from Luke Anderson, who just came to the game as well. Ty Neff, the brother of Trey Neff, so the two brothers on the floor for the Redwoods alongside Railsback. And Anderson and Chong still in there. And another block for the incoming player, Cole Webster. And I believe that was a clean block for Webster, but a foul on DVC. That will be the first of the game at the 15:07 mark.
First personal on 5, Lorenzo
Pardo will be the one that gets the first foul.
31.
And now Ben Tejas will get a breather as DJ Evans, the 6'3 sophomore out of Broadman, Ohio, will come in for his first playing time here at home at the DVC Palladium. Chong from the left baseline will trigger inside, and an easy bucket for Neff. He is the leading scorer of this game. He's got 8 points throughout 5 minutes of play, and it's a 12-9 game. Moselle Wilson calling from between the circles now, and he'll dribble with his left hand, passing over to Evans. A shuffle back over to Moselle. And Moselle Wilson will pass to Pardo. 10 seconds left on the shot clock for Lorenzo Pardo now. Chong is defending him on the man-to-man. A crossover, a drive to the basket, and he was swatted away. A terrific job coming inside for Whitmore to just block that ball away. Pardon me, that was Railsback. And quickly to the other side of the basket, Chong came up with a 2-point basket, and it's a 14-9 game. Turnovers are the Achilles heel of the Vikings here in this early going. 4 or 5 different turnovers. No stats, unfortunately, tonight. And another turnover there as Pardo tried to feed inside into the post to Elijah Keys, but there was nobody home. Luke Anderson now to Chong. Chong, a pick and roll. And a turnover by the Redwoods here. Wilson trying to go coast to coast. A wild shot attempt, but the flat-footed shot for Moselle Wilson is up and good. And a timeout on the floor. We'll take our first timeout here at the first half. 14-11, the Redwoods lead the Vikings after about 6 minutes of play here on DVC Vikings Live. Back on the floor here at the Palladium. The lineup, I believe, will still stay the same. Moselle Wilson alongside DJ Evans, Cole Webster. Substitution actually for the Vikings. It's Michael Wood comes back into the game alongside Elijah Keys. So this is a very large lineup for the Vikings here. Quickly down the floor is Luke Anderson. And now Ty Neff has the ball, passing over to his brother Trey Neff. Mason Rails back. Nada Chong. And Chong will dribble with the right hand. Some pesky on-ball defense, I should say, by the Vikings. And Chong will drive down the baseline, kick it out to the corner. That's Luke Anderson, who tries another cross-court pass. And a fumble on the ball by Ty Neff, but it went into the hands of Mason Railsback. 1 second left. The buzzer beater, and another three. Trey Neff is on fire tonight. 11 points throughout this early going, 3 for 4, as it's a 17-11 game. Answering on the other side with a nice 12-foot floater, that's DJ Evans getting his first points. Only had 1 shot attempt in the first game against Kenyatta College, and the Vikings answer the 3 with a 2. Ty Neff to Anderson, back over to Ty Neff. Ty Neff will pass over to Chong, and works between the circles now. Ball over his head. The belt-high pass goes over to Neff. And that was Trey Neff who jumped into the air, and a foul be called on the Vikings. This one will go against DJ Evans, the second on the Vikings. 2 fouls on the Vikings, 0 on Redwood College. And the first timeout off the board came from the pocket of the College of the Redwoods. Chong, a feed inside, and that was a floating Mason Railsback coming up to take the lob. And it's 19-13 now with 12:35 remaining. Moselle Wilson out of Ignacio Valley running the set. Passes to DJ Evans, and DJ Evans is smothered. Elijah Key is trying to earn some space, and he does just that as it caroms out for DJ Evans. An offensive rebound for the Vikes, and Cole Webster goes up. He misses the shot, but he will earn his first trip to the free throw line. Webster 0 for 2 from the free throw line in the first game against Kenyatta College. And we'll see if he can earn these 2 points from the free throw line. As the 6'8" forward from LA Premier Prep will take the free throw line. Takes one deep breath, a couple bounces, rotates the ball alongside the left hand, and he leaves it flat. Still 0 for 3 as we get some substitutions now. Mason Monteshed will come in alongside Garrett Hall. So it'll be Ty Neff, Garrett Hall, Mason Monteshed, Luke Anderson, and Trey Neff, as the second free throw is good. Cole Webster gets his first points of the game, and it's 19-14 now. Ben Tejas comes back into the game for the Vikings, so it's Wood, Tejas, Moselle Wilson, alongside Webster. And a three-point shot is missed from the corner there, and the Vikings still unable to get the ball. The ball's tied up, and it's eventually turned over. It will be Vikings ball. But getting back to it, it'll be Wood, Tejas, DJ Evans, Cole Webster, and Wilson on the floor. And it'll just be a very short amount of time that they're on the floor because the Vikings will take their first timeout. 12 minutes on the clock, and they'll take a timeout here. 19-14 our score as the Redwoods lead the Vikings here in the first half of play. Timeout's still going on, but we want to bring it back a little bit early to talk about some action that happened yesterday. The DVC Vikings men's football team drops a game to Laney College. That was a battle for third place in the Basics Conference. That was a final of 20-6. The running game of the Eagles was just a bit too strong for the Vikings in that one, and the Vikings will bounce back Friday, 7 p.m. kickoff to take on San Joaquin Delta College. And that'll be sophomore night, as we bid farewell to a lot of the sophomores here at Viking Stadium. Players stay the same on the floor for both of the teams. And Moselle Wilson will try to penetrate. As he penetrates and tries to drop it off over to DJ Evans, the ball ricocheted off the hands of a Redwoods player. And that will be another turnover on the Vikings. 19-14 our score, still a 5-point game as the Vikings bring back in Marshawn Smith. Smith, Wilson, Wood, Tejas, and DJ Evans, the 5 on the floor for the Vikes. Trey Neff worked inside over Marshawn Smith. Smith called for the foul. First foul of the day on Marshawn Smith. Vikings 3 fouls, 1 foul on the Redwoods, and now a sideline inbounds over by Trey Neff. Neff to Anderson, over to Monteshed, and now Ty Neff passes out to the wing. Ty Neff gets the ball back, now over to his brother Trey Neff, a 15-foot baseline floater. That one's good. Trey Neff, just electric. 13 points out of the 21 points. He is doing a tremendous job in this early going, and he is building the lead for the Redwoods. This is somebody that you had to see on the scouting report coming into the game, averaging 20.6 points per game, and he's already got 13 throughout the first 8 minutes of play, but a technical foul will be called against the Redwoods, and Baden Tejas will knock down the technical. Tejas with 4 points on the evening now, And it'll be a 2-shot technical. I didn't actually catch what happened here. But Tejas will have an opportunity, maybe excessive celebration or something. Tejas knocks down both. So both free throws made by Ben Tejas. And it was a 2-shot technical, and the Vikings will keep the ball as well. We'll figure out who the personal foul is on, but that will be the second on the Redwoods now, as the Vikings trail 21-16. Hurtado will replace Wilson. So Hurtado will be the main guard in the set, as the starters, in addition of DJ Evans, come back into the game. Lorenzo Pardo, the only starter, still getting a breather. Ben Tejas showing off his handles from the right wing, trying to clear some space. Pump fakes from 3, a feed over to Marshawn Smith. Marshawn Smith, a drop-off, and Wood wide open. A terrific job creating opportunities by Marshawn Smith. 2 defenders came out, jumped on top of him, left Wood wide open underneath the post. Trey Neff with the ball now, scanning across the floor as he passes to Monteshed. And perimeter action now for the Redwoods. And a turnover by Trey Neff this time. Got a little overzealous, stepped out of bounds. So the turnover will give the Vikings the ball, trailing by 4. Trailing by 3, 21-18. Almost at the halfway point of this first quarter, of this first half of play. It's 10:42 remaining. Ben Tejas working around, and Ben, a stone-cold shooter from beyond the arc. 8 points for Tejas. Luke Anderson out of Marin Catholic in San Rafael, so pretty local product going up to Redwoods to play. He's running the set here for the Redwoods in this early going. Slashing down the left side of the lane, and he says, hey, I can do more than facilitate. I'm going to take it to the rack, 23-21. 2-point lead now as the Vikings have fought back from an 8-point deficit, and Vinny Hurtado will try to set something up to either tie or take the lead now. Hurtado flared out by Luke Anderson, and now Tejas tried to take another 3. They left the lane wide open, and Tejas says, I'll take it. Tejas, the leading scorer for the Vikings now with 10. Tied up at 23 apiece, 9:45 remaining here in the first half. A reach in and a terrific job by Marshawn Smith as it eventually leads into the steal. Hurtado spins around, passes to Wood. Wood down the right side of the lane. The wild flare shot, and he runs into the Redwoods defender. A charge and a foul will be against Wood. It could have either been a charge or a travel, as Wood just lost the handle trying to come into the game, or trying to come into the post, I should say. And unfortunately, that will be a foul, and the Vikings will have 4 total now. Remember, 8 you get into single bonus, 7 is single bonus, and then 10 is double bonus. So the Vikings not necessarily on pace to really get into that single bonus as of right now. A new substitution as Kai Curry comes into the game, replacing Marshawn Smith. And a nice post play inside as Cody Whitmore, the 6'1 guard, just let the defense swirl around him and got the wide open shot from low block right. Just a lot of patience to be able to let the defenders swarm on top of him, and then eventually gets the basket and the foul. I believe that will be the second on Pardo. Wood and Tejas to take the bench. Keys and Marshawn Smith back in the game for the Vikes. And the free throw is up and good. Cody Whitmore with a 3-point play the old school way, 26-23. Elijah Keys trapped along the top of the key will hand it off over to Pardo. Pardo working around the arc. A left wing 3. Hurtado too strong. Keys an offensive rebound. And Elijah Keys had the ball knocked away. And I believe this will be a foul, or no, it's just an out of bounds off of the Redwoods. Trailing by 3 at the 9-minute mark here in the first half. Hurtado to trigger from the right side of the baseline. Vikings in their gray uniforms as the ball was tipped out of bounds by Chung. Pardo taking a deep breath, knowing that that ball was not a turnover, as that's the reason why the Vikings have been able to come back in the game. They've forced a few steals, and they've limited their turnovers. Vikings, like I said, gray uniforms with the green trim and the green numerals. Azuki at a one-handed hammer by Marshawn Smith. That's what we're talking about, the athleticism and the high flyer. Smith throws it down. 26-25 at the 8:45 mark. Let's see if this energy continues here as the Vikings get a stop on the other side. That was Neff going inside Ty Neff, and then eventually a foul underneath. This gym just turned up to 11 after that hammer from Marshawn Smith. But now this is how you calm the crowd down. Ty Neff earning a trip to the free throw line. 26-25, trying to extend on the lead for the Redwoods. Ty Neff, brother to Trey Neff, averaged 8 points per game, an 80% free throw shooter last year, and he will get his first points of the evening with his first free throw. Second free throw, up and good. And Ty Neff makes it a 28-25 point game. Elijah Keys to the bench. Tristan Redmond, the redshirt freshman out of Berkeley, checking in for his first action for the Vikes. Pardo pump fakes from three. No foul there as he gets a screen over from Redmond. Pardo between the circles, a lob inside. Redmond, the turnaround. Redmond unable to finish from the block, but he will get a trip to the line. In the last game against Kenyatta, 1 rebound, 2 turnovers. He'll have a positive mark in his very first play on the floor tonight. Trying to cut the lead down to 1 as the first free throw is up. Nothing but net. Great to see from the 6'7" big man out of Berkeley, California. Talking to Redmond before the season, he was talking about he just wants to improve his defense and improve his shooting. So basically improve his game. He believes in his handles, if that's what he's talking about improving. And for a big man, that's a good thing. And the second free throw is missed. Redmond 1 for 2, and it's a 2-point game now. Kai Purcell over to Chung, and Chung with the jab step in the dribble. Left wing, that's Ty Neff. And Ty Neff unable to find the range this time. 2 Neff brothers can shoot the 3 very well. Pardo from the baseline defers back over to Hurtado, and Hurtado with the ball alongside his right hip will call the play. Hurtado with the hot pink kicks. Back over to Pardo. Pardo passes to Curry, and Curry just not liking what he's seeing. 8 seconds left on the shot clock, and another quick play by Vinny Hurtado. He's looking for a screen, gets a screen from Redmond, instead passes to the corner. A 3-point shot! Pardo unable to hit it, and it's a rebound brought in by Ty Neff. Ty Neff taking a second to just take his deep breath, passes the ball over to Chong, and now it's back over to Ty Neff. Ty Neff just swarmed in the corner, and a reach and foul will be called on the Vikes. It'll either go against Kai Curry or Lorenzo Pardo. And it will go against Kai Curry. That's fortuitous for the Vikings, because if that went against Pardo, that would have been his 3rd. But unfortunately for the Vikes, the 7th foul, as they fouled quite a few times in a quick span, sending Redwoods into the single bonus. First free throw missed. A substitution as Cole Webster comes in replacing Curry. And the Vikings fortunate there. Vinny Hurtado nearly a backcourt violation, but he was able to step across the line in time. Hurtado over to the corner. It's a 3-point shot from the listed center as Cole Webster misses the 3. Vikings get the O board, and Lorenzo Pardo knocks it down from deep. The left wing 3 is good for Pardo. Vikings don't get back on defense, and an air ball on the other side by Molin. That's no good. Pardo, 5 points now. After the made 3, Vikings with a 1-point lead at the 6:40 mark here in the first half of play. A big lineup for the Vikings here. Hurtado trying to facilitate with 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Behind the back dribble, breaks a defender. Pardo pump fakes from 3. Pardo a step back. He has the shot block into the hands of Redmond, but Redmond had it swapped away by Purcell. Vikings unable to get a clean shot attempt off. Kai Purcell looking to answer now. 20 seconds left. Penetration by Chong. Chong left side off the glass. And that'll give the Redwoods the lead back. 6 points tonight for Jet Chong out of Mira Loma, Sacramento. Coming up to play some ball over at the College of the Redwoods. 1 point lead now, 30-29. And a travel call, another turnover. They did so well to limit those turnovers to get to this point of the game. But a turnover on the Vikings will lead into a substitution. Tristan Redmond out, Michael Wood in. And Redwoods to inbound it from the left side of the baseline with the 1 point lead. Whipping the ball forward over to Luca Mullen, and he'll dribble alongside the right wing. Black jerseys, black pants, and the red trim for the Redwoods. And another missed three-point attempt from the corner. Mullen missed it by an air ball last time, and he hit rim this time, but no good. Marshawn Smith from the left wing, feeding inside of the post. That's over to Wood, and now they rotate back around to Marshawn Smith, and he airballs that ball. Vinny Hurtado was able to fly into the vicinity to try to knock that ball back in bounds. He saves it, but it does go into the hands of Purcell. And the Vikings swarm Purcell underneath the opposition basket. But unfortunately for the Vikings, about 90 feet away from the other basket, they will foul and send another free throw shooter to the free throw line. Kai Purcell, the sophomore out of Arcata, California, the 6'5 forwards weighing 200 pounds, shot about 73% from the free throw line last season. The Vikings got away with it last time they fouled, and that's the 8th foul as they send Purcell to the line, trying to knock down 2 in this one-on-one. 1-and-1. First free throw up and good, and that's the 3rd point for Purcell tonight. Some substitutions on the floor. Ben Tejas comes back into the game for the Vikings alongside Wilson, Webster, Wood, and Pardo. So still running with the 2 big look. Haven't really seen too many 4-guard looks. We saw that a lot last year, though. And it's 32-29 now as Redwoods has built on a 4-0 run. Pardo firing away from 3. The high arcing swish is good. Lorenzo Pardo taking over the offensive duties in this group. And he's got 8 points. Tied up at 82. And a travel on the other side of the ball. Great defense from the Vikings forcing Mason Rels back, to boot his way, shift his feet, and a travel called on him. Wood will get a conversation with Irv Anderson as he inbounds the ball over to Wilson. And Moselle Wilson dribbling with the left hand. 25 seconds left on the shot clock, inside of 5 minutes to play here in a knotted up game, 32-all. Will handle. Pardo now. Over to Tejas. Tejas doesn't have quite enough space to take the 3. Instead, he'll shift around, step back. The shot was on the line. The ball flares out of a couple of different players, and Purcell able to track down the long rebound. Purcell on the other side, and he's met at the top. But I believe a call before the block there as Ben Tejas tried to come back on defense. He got in front of the way of Kai Purcell, and he will pick up the foul before the block. Tejas, the first foul, and the Vikings won away from the and the Redwoods won away from the double bonus as the free throw is missed. And because this was a shooting foul, though, it will be 2 opportunities nonetheless for Kai Purcell. This is the first. And the second free throw is good. So that will give the Redwoods the lead now. Purcell with 4 points in this 33-32 game. 9 fouls still, so 1 away from the double bonus. That might change the game plan in this late going for the Redwoods. And a terrific job inside of the post. Cole Webster, a nice post move, a turnaround, and a right-handed shot to give the Vikes the lead. 34-33. Left wing for Cody Whitmore. That was actually not Whitmore. It was Trey Neff as he passed over to Chong, and the second time we've seen this evening. The Redwoods just stepping out of bounds. I don't know what's going on with the floor. They played 2 games already, but 2 times where a player has tried to penetrate down the baseline that they just stepped out of bounds. So the Vikings will have the possession with 4 minutes remaining here in the first half in this 34-33 game. Not a lot of fouls on the side of the Redwoods here, as they've only fouled 3 times. Ben Tejas, some fancy footwork, and leaves it short. Shot missed by Tejas, rebounded in by Luke Anderson as Anderson goes all the way into the post before he kicks it back around. A 3-point shot taken by Mason Railsback, and Railsback unable to find the shot. Vikings quickly down the floor. Wilson, eyes down onto the floor as He's looking for a man to get it off to. 15 seconds left. Lorenzo Pardo has it from the left wing. Looking for a screen. Will get the screen and the switch. Lorenzo Pardo, a shift underneath. Wood, the patience. Wood, just some fouled money underneath the basket. Michael Wood's baskets tonight have been a beauty. 6 points for Wood, as every single shot has just been a terrific find from the point guard, feeding the big man inside of the post, and it's 36-33 as a timeout is taken on the floor here. Vikings with the three-point lead at the 3:18 mark in this first half of play here on DVC Vikings Live. Pardon the loud buzzer noise as we come back onto the floor at the 3:18 mark of this first half of play. The Vikings with the three-point lead over the College of the Redwoods, 36-33. Redwoods one foul away from the double bonus, or pardon me, Vikings are one foul. Vikings have fouled 9 times, I should say, so the Redwoods are close to the double bonus. And some discipline play from the Redwoods here in terms of fouls, as they've only got 3, but a couple turnovers on the last few possessions have given the Vikings the opportunity to come back into this one. Kai Purcell answering from deep with a straightaway 3, and Purcell's become really the main shooting option in this latter part of the first half, I should say. Ben Tejas, an NBA 3. Tejas leaves it short. Wood with the rebound. Pardo pump fakes from 3. A nice offensive rebound, and I believe the shot clock should have reset there. They didn't reset it. And so we'll get some clerical errors fixed up here from the officials. Vikings have the possession arrow if they need it at some point. We haven't seen a jump ball or any situation that would dictate that so far tonight, though. And Lorenzo Pardo, after the inbounds play, will miss the shot. He took a deep 3. And it was a physical play inside by the 5'11 freshman out of Ignacio Valley. Wilson trying to get the rebound over the back of Luke Anderson. And the ball was tipped out of bounds as Anderson inbounds up from the left side of the baseline over to Chong. And the game's knotted up at 36 apiece. Mason rails back over to Chong. Chong from 3. Rattles out. Rebound brought in by Cole Webster. Wilson penetrating, top of the key. It's a 3 from the big man. And Wood unable to find the range to get the lead for the Vikings. So it's still 36 all. Just a little over 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Trying to thread it inside to a man cutting down the baseline was Luke Anderson, but the sophomore out of Marin Catholic throws the ball away, and the Vikings will go, I believe this will be a full line shift. So Marshawn Smith alongside Kai Curry, DJ Evans, Elijah Keys, and Vinny Hurtado will come back into the game. This is something we talked about last season a lot and something we're seeing for the first time tonight. We've seen 4 men, but a full line shift from the Vikings, just trying to bring a lot of energy onto the floor in this last 2 minutes and 3 seconds of play. And let's see if this mishmash group between starters and second unit players can make something happen in this last going. 1:50 remaining. Marshawn Smith, top of the key. Passes to Hurtado. Hurtado pressured quickly here. That's a nice 3-2 zone right now. And the three-point shot is missed alongside the left wing. But yeah, springing into the zone were the Redwoods. And they did a terrific job forcing a tough shot by the Vikings. Driving down the baseline, a drop-off over to the corner. Rotating back around to rails back. And a wide-open man in the corner. That's the other Neff brother, Ty Neff. And he hasn't been able to find his range from beyond the arc tonight. Trey Neff has been automatic. Ty Neff, not so much up to this point. Knotted up at 36, still at the 113 mark here. And this first half of play, home opener for the Vikings here at the DVC Palladium. Hurtado facilitating, Passes over to Kai Curry, and Curry with the 15-foot jumper from the short left wing misses the shot, and a wild ball will be ricocheted out as Elijah Keys. I mean, this is something we've seen last year coming into this year. Keys only played in a couple of games. I believe those 6 in total, started 2 of those. But Keys brings so much good energy for this Vikings team, and that trend has continued into this year. Monteshed, a feed inside over to Trey Neff. Trey Neff didn't find a shot, so instead he passes over to Railsback, who goes inside the post. And an offensive foul. A terrific job by DJ Evans. Planted his feet, forced the contact, and a turnover on the Redwoods. Elijah Keys coming out. In comes Isaiah Pullen, the freshman from College Park. And Luca Mullen on the other side will check out. In for the replacement, I believe, will be Luke Anderson. Marshawn Smith from the right elbow. Passes over to Pullen. Pullen being pressured. 30 seconds left on the shot clock. 15 seconds left on the play clock. Hurtado. Long right wing. The underhanded shovel. The pass over to Marshawn Smith. And he turns the ball over. That's over to Ty Neff. Ty Neff racing down the floor. Vikings able to get there on the defensive assignment. And he throws the ball away. Vikings have an opportunity to take the last shot here. Vinny Hurtado races down the floor. 8 seconds left. 6 seconds left. It's Evans over to Smith. Smith with the up and down. What a beautiful play. Marshawn Smith just flying down that baseline. And the officials are getting something worked out here. Right now, I believe they said the clock stopped, so no shot on the play. That'll take 2 points away, and I believe we'll go back to a 36-all after the terrific job by Marshawn Smith to drive the baseline. So it looks like the Redwoods are trying to walk to the locker room. And I don't know what is going on. I think there was a discrepancy between the play clock and a discrepancy between what the officials had. So right now it stands 38-36. Okay, so I think I just figured it out. So the shot is good by Marshawn Smith. So Smith with 4 points on the evening now. And what they said was no shot was the three-quarter court heave at the end of the play. So that's exactly what it is. So that'll send us into a halftime break with the Vikings with the lead. 38-36, the Vikings leading the College of the Redwoods as they're looking to get their first win of this 2023-2024 campaign here at home, here at the DVC Vikings Palladium. And we'll be back in just about 14 minutes for the second half of play. So back on the other side, thanks for joining us this lovely Saturday afternoon here at the Vikings Palladium. And we'll get some more action in just a moment. Zeros on the clock at the halftime break, and we're just about ready to get things rocking for the second half of play. 38-36 with 20 on the big board. And we'll get you the action in just a moment. So some numbers from the first half of play. 6 points for Marshawn Smith, 3 points for Cole Webster, 2 for Moselle Wilson, 8 points for Lorenzo Pardo. And the leader for the Vikings with 10 is Ben Tellez alongside Michael Woods. 6, 1 point for Redmond, and 2 points for DJ Evans, and that's the scoring for the Vikings. On the other side of the ball, Cody Whitmer, 3 points for him. Ty Neff with 2, the leading scorer of the team, and for the Redwoods Corsairs, as well as the leading scorer for the game, 13 for Trey Neff. He was held scoreless throughout the last couple minutes of play in that first half. Mason Redback has 2. Jet Chong with 6 points, 8 points for Kai Purcell, 2 points for Luke Anderson, and that's the scoring for the Redwoods. So on the floor to start it off, working right to left, is going to be the Redwoods as we change the sides of the baskets now. And for the Redwoods, it'll be Purcell alongside Chong, Trey Neff, Cody Whitmer, and Mason Railsback. Those will be the 5 on the other side of the floor. For the Vikes, it'll be Marshawn Smith, Lorenzo Pardo, Michael Wood, Ben Tellez, and Vinny Hurtado. So the starters on the floor for the Vikings. Hurtado coming out in the man-to-man defense on Chong to start the game. Feed into the left elbow. That's Cody Whitmore, who drops it off to the low block right. And a terrific job by Mason Railsback, getting 4 points and knotting the game up at 38 on the first possession of the second half of play. Just a good job getting it over and out physical playing Ben Tellez. Tellez, a feed inside of the post, and Wood with a terrific job going across the basket, but he leaves it short, and Wood, just insult to injury, fell into the legs of Whitmer at the end of the play, and Wood will pick up his 3rd foul. Wood with 3, and he'll likely have to sit here inside of 30 seconds of the second half. In his replacement will come Cole Webster, so a little more size in terms of height, but in terms of strength, Michael Wood. Definitely see those muscles there. First foul goes against the Vikings. Wood had a terrific attempt on the play, just couldn't quite get the basket to drop. And now Chong will race across the floor as the Vikings play a full court press. Tellez on the overplay on the ball, wasn't able to get there as Railsback will drop it back off over to Chong in a 2-man game with Railsback. And Railsback misses the shot, and the Vikings, an unfortunate turnover. 2 guys that have played a lot of basketball together, and Ben Tellez and Lorenzo Pardo just unable to get on the right page to start the second half. 19:07 remaining here in the second half of play. And the Vikings had the 2-point lead at halftime break, trying to come out and have a strong second half. That was the issue in the game against Kenyatta. Only 21 points in the second half, trying to turn the page against that tough performance. And on the other side, it's Mason Railsback finding his range from 3. First 3-point shot of the night for him as Ben Tellez answers quickly. Tellez hasn't necessarily initiated his offense right off the bat, but anytime a 3-point shot has been made, he's answered quickly. Knotted up at 41. Back to back to back, and this time no good for Whitmer. Whitmer misses the 3-point shot, and Hurtado will bring up the ricochet. Ben Tellez from the right wing. Ben Tellez is on fire! 16 points for Tellez, and he's now the leading scorer of the game. 44-41. And a second foul will be called on the Vikings, a little bit of a shove. Cole Webster picks up his first. And Elijah Keys set to come inside the game now. Lorenzo Pardo checks out. Keys comes in. So some size on the floor for the Vikes here, as the inbound will be Trey Neff from the left side of the baseline, or pardon me, the sideline. Chong to Railsback, the crossover and the pass back over to Chong. Chong slashing down the right side of the wing. Chong passes to the corner. Cody Whitmore steps out of bounds once more. The 3rd time this evening we've seen a Redwoods player step out of bounds on an attempt from 3. I don't know if this green floor is giving a strange depth perception. There is the volleyball lines inside. Maybe they're getting confused on that, but something is going awry by the College of the Redwoods. Benteas, a little bit of a shuffle, and Ben's 3 for 3 in the second half. 19 points for Tejas, and a quick answer on the other side for the Redwoods. 47-43, and a timeout taken by the Corsairs, and we'll take the timeout as well. 17-42, 2 fouls on the Vikings, but the Vikings build on their lead as they lead 47-43 in the second half of play. Back on the other side of the break here on DVC Vikings Live. $17:42 remaining in the second half of play, and it's a 47-43 point game as the Vikings lead the Corsairs. Vikings come into this game 0-1, losing their first matchup against Kenyatta College. That was a final of 78-49, but a very strong showing throughout the first 23 minutes of play in this one. Same players on the floor for the Vikings as Vinny Hurtado sprints down the far side of the floor. A handoff to Ben Tejas, who's been on fire here in the second half. And a nice floater for Marshawn Smith. Pulled up from 14 feet deep from the left elbow and drains it. 49-43. 8 points for Smith now. Trey Neff passes over to his brother Ty Neff, and it's a two-man game between the two brothers as Ty Neff has the ball now. Trey Neff, a quick three-point shot and a high rebound brought in by Cole Webster. Trey Neff held scoreless throughout about, from my recollection, about 6 minutes or 7 minutes of play now. He was on fire early, but the Vikings making some good defensive adjustments. And Ben Tejas over to the corner, and a ball off the face of a Redwoods player and tipped out of bounds after Webster tried to throw a ball inside. Marshawn Smith was trying to feed inside to, I believe, Elijah Keys, but instead it just ricocheted off the dome piece of one of the Corsairs. And now the Vikings with Hurtado from the left side of the baseline. 8 seconds left in the shot clock. Triggering from here. Hurtado throws to Tejas. Tejas with 7 seconds. Tejas spins around, trying to get a screen. Passes over to Keys. Keys needs to get the shot off the 15-footer. Drains it! Elijah Keys shows off the range. Keys has the keys to the car as he fires away, and the Vikings build an 8-point lead. 16:30, Chong trying to answer, and Chong very easily does. Chong's done a good job penetrating down the right wing, and that's 8 points coming off a very similar play tonight. Marshawn Smith over to Ben Tejas, and Tejas a little loose with the handles. Rushing ahead is Ty Neff. Ty Neff with two Vikings trailing him, and Ty Neff almost leaves it short. Vinny Hurtado did a good job to pester him at the end of the play, but Ty Neff now with 4 points. 2 free throws, and that's the first basket of the game for Ty Neff, the sophomore out of Medford, Oregon. That's a 4-point lead now for the Vikings as the Redwoods have cut it down. And a 3-point shot from the right wing that just hits the side of the iron for Cole Webster, and the rebound brought in by the Corsairs. Trey Neff, left side. Trey Neff fighting through some contact. No foul on the play as Ben Tejas reached in. And it looks like Ryan Bissio wants something going. He's getting the crowd pumped up for the Redwoods fans that made this trip down tonight. And just like that, it's only a 2-point game. 49-51, the Redwoods cut it back after the Vikings opened it up to 8 points. And it's a very tightly contested game with 15:34 remaining here in the second half of play here on DVC Vikings Live. Substitutions come in as Moselle Wilson will come into the game for the first time this half alongside DJ Evans. So it's Wilson, Evans, Keys, alongside Curry, who checks in as well, and Colt Webster, the last of the 5 for the Vikings. On the other side, it's going to be Chong, Ty Neff, alongside Luke Anderson, Trey Neff, and the last of the 5 will be Mason Railsback. 2-point lead for the Vikings over the Corsairs here at the 15:23 mark of the second half. And the man running the set, Kai Curry, will pass it over to Keys. Keys is pestered at the top of the key. And a nice shot from the outside, showing the flex. And DJ Evans out of Ohio will knock down the triple. First three-point shot of the season made, and the Vikings force a turnover on the other end. It was Kai Curry trying to break away from the pack, but a foul behind the basket. And the Redwoods just stopping a fast break. And Jet Chong picks up his second foul. 2 fouls apiece here, 2 on the Vikings, 2 on the Redwoods. And at the 14:53 mark, Vikings trying to open up a bigger lead. Moselle Wilson will dribble between the circles. 18 seconds left on the shot clock. Wilson has it, slashes down the wing, the jump cut, the 360 with the rotation. And no good on the shot, just got a little too tricky on the play as Kai Curry plays some tough defense on Trey Neff on the other side of the floor. Ball goes to Luke Anderson, now back over to Trey Neff. Left wing for Ty Neff. Ty Neff doesn't take the 3. Instead, a drop off over to Railsback. Railsback to the corner, Chong for 3. No good, he's missed all of his 3-point attempts as the Vikings get the rebound with Elijah Keys. Quickly up the floor now, Kai Curry. He'll dribble and he'll get a call from his head coach, Irv Anderson. Anderson calling the set with 20 seconds left on the play clock. Moselle Wilson facing down the zone defense. Penetration inside. Cole Webster, nice shot inside. Webster has given the Vikings some good size on the floor and some great energy, and he's got 5 points in this early going. 56-49 our score with 14 minutes remaining here in the second half. Chong from 3 once more. Another flat shot and another energy rebound brought in by Elijah Keys. Transition 3-point shot left short by Cole Webster. Vikings able to get the offensive rebound, and this will be a backcourt violation as the ball was thrown way too far ahead. Kai Curry trying to retrace his steps to get the ball, but it will be a turnover on the Vikes. Lorenzo Pardo will get back into the game as Cole Webster gets a breather after some great minutes there. And the Vikings with the 56-49 lead. Inbound from the far sideline, it'll be Luke Anderson who has the ball. Luke Anderson from low block right, leaves it short. Keys with another rebound. He's been dominating the boards here in the second half of play. DJ Evans over to Keys, and Elijah Keys with another 15-footer. A little too strong on the fire that time. DJ Evans was in the vicinity trying to get the rebound, but it goes over to the Redwoods as Luke Anderson up the floor. Mason Railsback over to the corner, and another step out of bounds. Mason Monteshed was on the sideline, just got a little loose with the footwork, and for the 4th time against the Corsairs, they step out of bounds on a 3-point attempt. Vikings with the lead, trying to build on it. Michael Wood to the scorer's table. The floater no good for Moselle Wilson, and the rebound brought in by Mason Railsback. Monteshed has the ball, slashes down the wing, over to Ty Neff, who goes for 3, no good. Brother Trey Neff inside, offensive board, and a foul underneath. Hasn't gotten the 3-point shot to drop since the early going, but Trey Neff, just a true scorer inside, getting to the hoop, gets the offensive rebound, and he earns a trip to the line as I believe that's the first foul against Moselle Wilson.
On the floor for the Vikes, it's 20, number 1. Coming in for Redwoods, it's number 1, Harvey Whitmer.
First free throw good for Trey Neff. That's his 14th point. And if my recollection is correct, his first free throw attempt of the game. Second one's up and good. And as to expect from an 85% free throw shooter from a year previous, and it's a 5-point game once more. Vikings looking to continue to hold the lead here at the 12:30 mark here of the second half. A jump pass inside, and a quick firing pass that goes over to Kai Curry, gets knocked out of bounds. It almost looked like a soccer inbounds. That's how much power Lorenzo Pardo put on that pass. Kai Curry from the left side of the baseline. Michael Wood comes back into the game for the Vikes. Keys gets it on the inbounds pass. 15 seconds left on the play clock. Keys, a handoff over to Kai Curry. Kai Curry from the left elbow doesn't take a shot, instead retreats back. 8 seconds left on the play clock. Keys inside of the post, passes outside. DJ Evans for 3! DJ Evans, a 3-point shot, an 8-point lead. Trying to answer is Whitmore. Too strong on the shot. Strong rebound by Michael Wood. Michael Wood pestered. Lorenzo Pardo able to pass it over to Kai Curry. The officials wanted an 8-second violation. I believe it's 10 seconds at the boys level. So I don't know what the coaching staff was complaining about by the Redwoods, actually. Lorenzo Pardo, a jump pass. Another straightaway 3. No good. Too strong this time for DJ Evans, but an offensive rebound for the Vikes. 11:30, the Vikings are dominating the offensive glass here in the second half. They've got an 8-point lead, trying to break it open in double digits, and they do so with the triple from Pardo. Lorenzo Pardo with 11 points on the evening, and the Vikings open up the first double-digit lead of the second half, or of the whole game, I should say. And just a nice one-cut step into the basket for Luke Anderson. He's got 4 points, and it's back down to 9. Kai Curry, the handle, over to Pardo. Pardo spinning around, gets a block from Keys. Dribbles inside, kicks it back outside over to Curry, and Curry for 18 feet out. Kai Curry, first points of the night for the freshman guard over from American Canyon, and it's back up to 11. 10:41 remaining. A missed 3-point shot taken by Monteched. Vikings with the rebound. Curry quickly up the floor over to Pardo. Pardo driving the baseline. Pardo with the floater off the glass. No good. Rebound brought in by Mason Railsback. Monteched over to the corner. Trey Neff finds his range from beyond the arc once more. 18 points for him. 1 point behind our leading scorer in Ben Tejas. And a timeout taken on the floor. 8-point game now as the Redwoods knock down the triple at the 10:23 mark here in the second half of play. We've got a great one on our hands at the DVC Palladium, and we'll take a timeout here at the 64-56 point mark of the second half. (64-56), 10:23 remaining here in the second half of play. 3 fouls on the Vikings, 2 fouls against the Redwoods. We've had a very good game so far. A nicely contested battle in the second half for the Vikings. Substitutions for the Vikings. Here's to the 5 on the floor will be number 1, Marshawn Smith. Number 2, Kai Curry. Number 11, Ben Tejas. Number 20, Michael Wood. Join alongside number 31, DJ Evans. The leading scorer of the game is Ben Tejas, who's got 19 points. But DJ Evans with some terrific play here in the second half. Oh my goodness, Kai Curry tried to work the baseline, and Mason Railsback just met him at the summit, and volleyball spiked that one out of bounds. Different sport, sir. Different sport. The ball will stay with the Vikings here as Kai Curry will trigger from the corner. Curry scanning the floor with 18 seconds left on the shot clock. Needs some help. Finally finds it in Michael Wood. Wood to the free throw line. Continues to dribble with the right hand between the legs. And a throw back over to Kai Curry. 8 seconds left on the play clock for the Vikings. Kai Curry trying to answer. Kai Curry goes up with a tough floater. He was behind the basket when he let that ball go. What a terrific trick shot as the Vikings build back a 10-point lead. Monteshed over to Railsback, no good. Rebound brought in by DJ Evans, and now up the floor is Curry once more. Curry retreats running behind his big man and Michael Wood, and the Vikings will use some clock here at the 9:30 mark. Calming the play with his left hand. Tejas travels. I didn't really see it travel, maybe a quick little slide of the base foot, as it was more so just some hard-nosed defense played by Ty Neff. So Ben Tejas called for the travel, and it's a turnover on the Vikes. Trey Neff doesn't take the three, instead a pass over to Luke Anderson. Anderson over to Monteshed. And Monteshed just throws it away. Kai Curry was Johnny on the spot to pick up that ball. DJ Evans now, a kick over to Tejas. Finds his shot on the right wing, and just a little miscalibrated as it's an air ball by Ben Tejas. A deep three-point shot taken by Trey Neff in transition, and the Vikings get the rebound up the floor. Evans to Tejas, driving the baseline. The step around leaves it short once more. The ball knocked out of bounds by Michael Wood. And Wood, I don't think he cares that he has 3 fouls. He's still playing the same physical brand of basketball as we expect from him. Vinny Hurtado comes back into the game in replacement of Kai Curry. It looks like Curry needs either a breather or maybe was shaken up. His hands were on his knees as he was talking to Coach Connor on the sideline. So Cole Webster alongside Marshawn Smith, Ben Tejas, Vinny Hurtado, Michael Wood, and those are the players on the floor for the Vikings. Corner three, drains it by Trey Neff. Trey Neff, 21 points. He's got his season average from last year. And now Marshawn Smith comes to the sideline, getting another talking to, and he's shaken up on the play. He'll get some help from Wendy Holt, one of our beloved athletic trainers here at DVC. And the Vikings trying to hold on to the 66-59 point lead here. Lorenzo Pardo comes in replacement of Marshawn Smith. So losing some size, but you still got some big boys on the floor, 6'6" and 6'7", coming the way of Cole Wilson and Michael Wood. Hurtado with 15 seconds left on the shot clock. He'll pass that over to Pardo. Pardo to the corner, that's Hurtado once more. A two-man game as the rotation goes over to Tejas. Tejas pulling his way inside, hands are on the ball, and the ball is jarred free. A foul on the reach-in now called against Ty Neff. Tyson Neff will pick up his first, and it'll be a shooting foul, as they will say Ben Tejas was in the action of shooting. I think that could have went either way. I could have seen it as either a tied-up ball or as a shooting foul, and fortunately enough for the Vikings, it will be a shooting foul. Tejas answering the call, and he's got 20 points of his own this afternoon. 1 point away from tying up Trey Neff as the leading scorer of the game. A deep breath taken by the 76% free throw shooter. And both of the free throws are up and good for Ben Tejas. 21 points for number 11 in gray. Monteshed spinning alongside the low post. And the Corsairs will get the ball over to Trey Neff. Trey Neff with the 12-foot floater, and Trey Neff answers back just like that. 23 points for him tonight now. And it's a 7-point game at the 7:35 mark of the second half. Vikings with the lead over the Corsairs. Coming in the 27th ranked team in California. Lorenzo Pardo passes over to Hurtado, doesn't take the three, instead a rotation back around to Tejas. Steps over to the right wing, and a three from Tejas! 24 points from Ben, as he is now the lone leading scorer. Trey Neff and Ben Tejas, man, this is everything it's been written up to be. These two are scoring machines. Monteshade from the corner hits the backboard on his three-point attempt. And Wood with the rebound. 25 seconds left on the play clock as Vinny Hurtado brings it across the floor. The zone defense once more for the Redwoods. The Corsairs allowing a drive down the middle of the floor by Webster, and Wood gets the offensive board. Wood upside with the right-handed shot, and the hook shot inside gives Michael Wood 8 points on the afternoon. 73-61. A 12-point lead for the Vikes here at the 6:30 mark. And Lorenzo Pardo, great ball defense, gets the steal. Pardo trying to go coast to coast. The lob in the oop! Cole Webster on the receiving end of a beautiful pass from Lorenzo Pardo. Pardo overplaying on the steal, and I believe they're going to call a foul on Pardo this time. Knocked Trey Neff to the ground, but what a terrific play on the previous attempt. It almost like Cole Webster at 6'8" didn't expect the alley-oop coming his way. Jet Chong, as Trey Neff misses a three-point shot, and Chong gets the ball back. Now it's over to the brother Ty Neff, rotates back around to the corner, and that's the first three-point attempt by Ty Neff. 7 points for him. Vikings quickly down the floor, flying inside, getting the foul, and Colt Webster to the free throw line. 1 for 2 on the afternoon in free throws, and they'll get an opportunity as the line, or from the free throw line, I should say. And let's finish off the lineups here for the College of the Redwoods. It's going to be Kai Purcell alongside Chong. He's joined by Luke Anderson and the two Neff brothers. First free throw, no good, so 1 for 3 now by Cole Webster. Webster trying to get his 6th point of the afternoon from the stripe now. Trying to extend the lead to 12. A deep breath, the shoulders shake, couple dribbles, the spin, and the shot. Oh, it looked good, but it just was a little short dribbling off the rim. So 2 missed free throws from Webster, and the Vikings stay at 11 with the lead. Ty Neff turns the ball over. Tejas gets the steal. Tejas running down the far side of the floor. And just a terrific job. The reverse, the behind the head shot, and Ben Tejas, 26 points. Back to a 13-point lead. Purcell misses the three. Hurtado with the rebound. Vikings trying to get down the floor before the zone defense can be set by the Corsairs, and the Vikings, knowing that they're in a good position here, up 13, will just take a little time off the clock. I like this coaching and this philosophy from Irv Anderson. 10 seconds left on the play clock. The Vikings will need to get a play off. The wild pass is ricocheted, but Ben Tejas able to get the ball, and a perfect feed over to Keys. Keys points out Ben Tejas, saying, hey, thank you. And another turnover by Ty Neff. The Vikings pushed the pressure right on top of him, forced him to drift out of bounds, so a bucket on one side on a beautiful feed and a basket to Elijah Keys. And on the other side, a turnover. That's the one thing the Vikings have been doing very well in the second half, really the last about 25 minutes of the game. They've just stopped turning the ball over so much. That was the big issue throughout the first 10 minutes of play. And this has resulted in this very nice lead. 4:42 mark of the second half. The Vikings using as much time as possible here as they hold on to a 15-point lead. Lorenzo Pardo has the ball, a jump pass, and a turnover. Nope, it was almost a turnover, but the save on the other side will go straight into the hands of Marshawn Smith as he misses the jumper. It was a diving attempt by Railsback, but he just had to throw the ball over the top of his head. And on the other side of the ball, a three-point shot taken by Ty Neff. And Ty Neff, 2 for 2 from on the arc in the last couple possessions. 10 points now for him. 12-point lead for the Vikes. 18 seconds left on the shot clock, and a reach-in foul called against Ty Neff. That'll be the 5th team foul against the Redwoods, so the Vikings are still 2 away from the single bonus, but if they can get into this situation and close the game from the free throw line, that would be a very good situation to be in, trying to earn their first victory of the season. Kai Curry comes back in replacement of Lorenzo Pardo. And a timeout on the floor. DVC will take their timeout. 3 still left in their pocket, and we'll take a timeout alongside with them. A 12-point lead for the Vikings here at the 4-minute mark of the second half of play as the Vikings lead the Corsairs by 12 here in the second half of play. Back on the other side of the break here on DVC Vikings Live. Vikings with the 12-point lead over the Corsairs of the College of the Redwoods here. And the lineup on the floor for the Vikes will be Kai Curry, Marshawn Smith, Vinny Hurtado, Ben Tejas, and Elijah Keys. Inbounds pass goes over to Ben Tejas as he's hammered away, but the pass still goes inside, and Elijah Keys, the finish and one. Elijah just knows where to be at the right time, man. He's been the right player to be put inside of the post. Not the tallest player at 6'4", but the physicality from the sophomore out of De La Salle has been huge. Just a high-energy player, very physical inside of the post, and Keys will try to dot the I on the three-point play here. Able to do so as he's got 7 points just like that. 82-67 underneath 4 minutes to play. Almost a turnover here by Purcell. And a team foul will be called against the Vikings. That'll be the 5th on the Vikes. Kai Curry picks up his second. The inbounds pass coming alongside the front of us here, alongside the near side of the baseline. 3:47. Needing points in bunches now are the Corsairs, and Chong will try to answer. Free throw line jumper, rails back with the 15-footer, no good. Rebounded by Elijah Keys. And once again, Hurtado running the set for the Vikes, burning some clock. Behind the back dribble by Marshawn Smith from the right elbow. The shot dribbles out. Chong with the rebound. Purcell to Chong. Chong being pressured once more. Ty Neff delivers back over to Chong. The quick ball over to Purcell. The three-point shot goes off the side of the iron. And Hurtado with the grab. Under 3 minutes to play here. The Vikings just continue to burn some clock. 15 seconds left. Ball goes over to Kai Curry, and a reach-in foul called against Jet Chong. Marshawn Smith with 8 points. Kai Curry with 3. Cole Webster with 5. Moselle Wilson 2. Lorenzo Pardo 11. Tejas leading the Vikings and leading everybody on the floor with 26. Michael Wood 8 points. DJ Evans with 8 points. And Elijah Keys with 7. Those are the scores here as Kai Curry goes to the free throw line. Looking to see if he can knock down this 1-and-1 opportunity. Front half of the 1-on-1. 1-and-1. Jim quiets here, and it curls out, but possibly a lane violation called against the Redwoods. And it will be a lane violation. Oliver Tatton checking into this game for the first time alongside Luca Mullen. So the reserves coming in as this might be the white flag waved by the Corsairs. And the free throw is missed once again, but Marshawn Smith able to get into the corner and get the offensive board. Kai Curry has the ball. He's between the circles, and some physical play alongside the left wing as the officials want to get some stuff cleared out.
Clock readjusted to 2:42.
So 24 seconds back on the shot clock. The clock is set at 2:42. And the Vikings inbound to Marshawn Smith. 2:35 counting down. The Vikings with the 15-point lead. Hurtado has a lane to the basket. A drop off inside. A high hook shot missed by Smith. Offensive rebound by Smith. Pass over to Keys. Keys working inside of the post. And now Kai Curry just retreats very smartly. A very heads-up play for the Vikings. Instead of going for the basket, they're going to use more time off the clock. A reach in, it's not called, but it's a tip ball, so Kai Curry is able to retreat to the backcourt to get the ball. And another foul called against the Redwoods. That's their 8th. It looks like Chet Chung will check out. And Isidro Garcia, the freshman out of Santa Rosa, California, will come in. Kai Curry comes out. Lorenzo Pardo comes back in. And because that's the 8th foul, it's going to be a 1-and-1 for Marshawn Smith. First free throw is good for Smith. Marshawn Smith now with 9 points, trying to get into double digits. 83-67. And Elijah Keys stopping the game action just to tie his shoelaces real quick. An awkward little laugh from everybody in the Palladium, and now we get our second free throw attempt. Good for 2 from the stripe. Marshawn Smith's now got 10. In the second/third unit, Isidro Garcia will run the point. 10. Now back to Garcia. Garcia, a feed inside the post. That's Luke Anderson. And Luke Anderson throws it as it's intercepted. Marshawn Smith with the INT. Marshawn Smith down the floor. The 360 reverse and a foul. Redwoods foul once more. And it sends Marshawn Smith to the free throw line for another 1-and-1. One away from the double bonus now. And it looks like the line shift is coming in for the Vikes after this. First free throw is missed, and because it was a shooting foul, it will actually be 2 free throws. So fresh rotation of players on the floor, as the only player left is Marshawn Smith finishing out the free throw. So Dawson Schaefer alongside Isaiah Pollin, joined by Tristan Redmond and Moselle Wilson. Free throw is missed, so Marshawn Smith will stay into the game at the 1:35-minute mark. A corner 3, Whitmer, no good. Rebounded in, a high flying rebound by Wilson. Now quickly to the basket, it'll be Pollin as Pollin misses the shot point blank. 1:22 remaining. The cross-court pass is knocked away. Whitmer has it. Whitmer straight to the hole. And Whitmer gets the basket and the foul. DVC fouls, I mean, this is purely academic up to this point. This is still not necessarily the way you want to end the game. Romeo Traylor rocking 0 from 31 last year. So Mr. Chaos into the game for the first time at the 1-minute and 16-second mark of the second half. Also coming in, Vincent Estrada Smith. And the three-point play is good for Cody Whitmore, so it's 84-70. It's a 14-point lead for the Vikings with just a little over 1 minute to play. The 3s and the 4s getting some minutes here. And this Vikings team is very deep. Right-handed jump shot taken by Redmond, and Tristan Redmond, the redshirt freshman out of Berkeley, able to earn a trip to the line. 10th foul on the Redwoods, but it's a shooting foul, so it'll be 2 regardless. Redmond 1 for 2 from the line today, and able to go 2 for 3 now. Double bonus inside of 1 minute to play. And this shot is up and good. Redmond gave the Vikings some good activity in the first half. And now he's closing the game out as well. 16-point lead. Corner three taken by Whitmore. No good. Offensive rebound brought in by Anderson. A rotation to the left wing, and the three-point shot by Mullins, no good. But a foul will be called off the ball. And it will go against Tristan Evans. That was a shove. And it will send Cody Whitmer to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. First free throw is good. 7 points for him tonight. And stick around after the game. We'll try to get a post-game interview with, to be fair, it's probably going to be Ben Tejas. He's got 26 on the night. It's hard not to interview a guy when they've got 26. Both free throws are up and good. Whitman's got 8. Vikings, about a 12-second, 13-second game shot clock shot difference here. In the driver's seat with a 14-point lead. Isaiah Pullen over to Schaefer. Schaefer, cross-court pass to Estrada Smith. He drives the baseline and steps out of bounds. First time I believe we're seeing that against the Vikings as they turn the ball over here at the 23-second mark in the second half. You've seen that quite a lot. That's one of the differences that really brought the Vikings back into the game. The Corsairs came out. They had the early lead, but the Vikings were trailing. It was a very close back-and-forth game until about the 15-minute mark here in the second half when the Vikings came through. And they built onto their double-digit lead. And then now we're purely academic up to this point, but Luke Anderson drove to the basket, and he does earn a trip to the line. The first foul be called against Estrada Smith. That's the 8th on the Vikings. And at the 14.3-second mark, this will likely be the last few shots we see this game. Anderson, last year a 33% free throw shooter, misses the first one this game. Second free throw, off the heel of the iron. One more rebound brought in. Tristan Redmond patting the stat book just a little bit here, and Romeo Traylor brings it across the floor. As we've got 5 seconds left, Traylor, the big man, showing off some handles here. And the clock strikes 0. Vikings get the victory here, 86-72. They get their first win of the season, advancing to 1-and-1, knocking off the number 27th ranked team in California. So we'll take a quick timeout and see if we can get an interview with Ben Tejas on the other side of the break. Stay tuned, Vikings fans. Back here on DVC Vikings Live. All right, Ben Tejas, you did an amazing job tonight. Finishes the night as the leading scorer in this game with 26 points. Ben, how good does it feel to be back here in the Palladium?
Feels really good. We had a rough first game, so it felt good to get one back at home. And hope we can keep building on this.
What was the biggest difference between that game against Kenyatta and tonight?
I think our energy, we picked it up a lot. throughout the whole game, on the bench, on the floor, and I think that really showed.
Yeah, I think energy was a huge thing. We saw all night long after the turnovers really stopped happening in the first about 10 minutes of play in that first half. I mean, it was just all you guys. It seemed like you were forcing turnovers left and right. The shots were just dropping. And how good does it feel to just knock down triples left and right like that?
Felt really good. I've been struggling a little bit this week. Felt like a little slump, so it felt good to finally break out and see something go through the basket. So.
Ben, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
we'll
you.
have hopefully another interview coming up very soon. Thank you again.
Thank you.
And thank you so much, Vikings fans, for joining us this evening, or this afternoon, I should say. Our next game will be coming up very soon, so San Jose City College on the 8th. On the 10th, West Hills Coalinga at West Hills Coalinga. On the 15th, against Solano College. And then the Vikings will be back on the 25th against CCC. So that's the next time you'll see me and you'll see our broadcast crew today. So thank you so much to Ryan Shell running our scoreboard tonight, for Brian Crow running our camera. It's been a lovely day, and what a great day to be a Viking. 86-72 our final score here at the DVC Palladium. And another great broadcast here on DVC Vikings Live.